Okay, so it was successful. So I'm using the latest Claude version of 2.175, and I am able to use, I'm using the, I subscribed, so using the pro version. So now I have Claude Code. So previously I had Claude, which is free, but if you want to use Claude Code, then you have to pay for it. So now security notes, Claude can make mistakes, right? So you should review the responses, definitely be responsible, and you have to be very, careful with security. So now it's asking me some basic questions, right? Use terminal setup, yes. Okay, so it usually I have to select a folder. So right now it's in my user's home, so I will just use that folder. And now if you see, the first thing I want to do is init, right? So init is, it will create a file called claude.md that will be instructions for Claude. So I am in the, so I created a new folder. Let me ask Claude. So basically you can give any regular commands also. So I just created a new folder called Claude work, and I'm in there. Now if you see ls, there is nothing in there, it's empty. So it says theme. If I want to change the theme or color, so if I want to do a dark mode, let's do color friendly dark mode theme. Okay, now I want to say, let, if I say create, so if I do, no, so claude.md we create once we have some files in there. So let me just say create a hello world, right? Hello world, and I want to create a python hello world app. So it will create hello.py, yes, and so it created. So now if you see, there is a file hello.py. Can you run it? So it will run it for me. So it will just print hello. The command requires approval, so it asks for every time, right? So if I say run with python 3, so it will run it and it will print it. So this is a simple thing, right? Hello world, it printed, it ran python 3 hello.py. So this is some basic, right? So if we want to see the code, I can say cat hello.py, right? It will show me the code. Yeah, it's pretty basic, right? But this is like how you create. Now if I create, now next step is maybe I want to create a web app, or I want to create a blog post, or I want to create a blog which has which does something. So um, create an app, create a blog for me, right? Something like that, I can say it. Then it will ask me further questions. So create an app, let's say I can do create an app that writes to a blog, something like that. So if you see here, I gave it a problem statement that I have a YouTube channel and I want to use one video and convert it into a blog post. So it gave me certain options, that okay, you, what I need is a endpoint like a YouTube video URL. It will fetch the transcript for me and then it will create a blog post. But it also asks like, where do you want to publish? But I said I want to create my own blog account. So then what it says is, now there is something called skill. So Claude has skills. So if you go and search, and if you look, skill is something which is a special feature, which, so people can write multiple skills. And then, so like Claude API is a skill, so it will use that skill to do the job. So skill is something which works with Claude, it's kind of additional capability. So if I allowed it, and then it asked me for the approval, I allowed it. After that, it goes and it creates a python, it needs python flask. It needs a couple of things, right, to do the job. So it created a requirements or txt file for me, where it has Flask, Anthropic, and the YouTube transcript API. I will say yes. So it will write this file for me and it will write the code which will do it. And so I will have to just input the endpoint URL and it will convert it. So I'll give it a simple video to see what it can generate. So if you see, it created a bunch of files. So I'll show you in that folder. So this is my folder. So it created lots of files. It created lots of templates for the blog post, and also it creates a requirements or txt. So now if I it wants to install the dependencies, so that is will be pip install whatever is there in the requirements file. So we'll say yes, so it will install on my system. It's installing using pip. So everything was installed. Now the next command is python minus the import. So it's going to, it requires my approval, so I'm going to import all these uh, dependencies so that my code can be ready. Now it's showing me what all was done. So here's what was built. So these are all the files under CloudWork app.py, which has the basic code requirements, which is the dependencies for Python, my app code, and then all the templates. The templates are basically for new post and for the base, and then the future posts. It's explicitly telling me to how to run. So I will have to export the Anthropic API key, which will be my key, and it will run my app. And then if I open my local host at 5000, it will show my app will be running. And then how it works is, go to YouTube, paste a URL, the app fetches the transcript and sends it to Claude. I'm using Opus 4.6, and then it will write the title, markdown, formatted blog post, and then the post will be saved in my local database, which will be running on my machine, and it will be rendered as a blog. So let me export the key, and then I will do the remaining steps. Okay, so then I did the command export Anthropic API key, and I got the key from my console. So I had to go to console anthropic.cloud.com, and I created a key just for this test case, and I pasted it, and then I started my app. So now my app should be running on localhost 5000, right? So now the if I open a browser, and if I so I went to create the key. So if I open a browser and if I say localhost 5000, something must be running on it. See, this is my blog. So I was able, now I can paste my first YouTube video here, and I can, it will convert it. So basically within few couple of minutes I was able to create a blog post from a YouTube. So let me give a simple one. I just created one. So I think I would have to get the transcript from here, and I will just use a simple one. Let me find one, and then I will just paste the URL over there. uh, Wait, let me get the URL. Copy. What if I give it here? This is my YouTube. Okay, let's see what it does. Okay, paste any YouTube video that's will fetch. Okay, it didn't work. So there's something wrong with, I don't think it does a transcript. Okay, let me figure it out. I will ask. Okay, so let me see. What if I ask Cloud? So if I can also say I'm getting this error, on the blog page. So it will give me exactly, what the issue is, or it will help me. So it's saying import YouTube API print version. Okay, let's see. I'm letting it pip3 show YouTube group. Oh, it's probably checking for the version. So let's see what version it is. 1.2.4. So maybe that it's not compatible, and it's not able to get the transcript. So it made some changes to my code. So instead of getting directly the transcript, it's using the API to get it, and then it's make I allow if I allowed it to make that change. So it's saying it should work now. Okay, so I will go back, and then I will go back to my here, and I will refresh it, continue, and okay. So now let me paste my YouTube URL, copy. Okay, I have to figure out, but basically it's not able to get, it is giving me invalid request error. Oh, it maybe I don't have enough to do it. So let me figure that out. But it's basically we were able to create a web page and able to, get the whole thing up within a few minutes.